Hi, so I'm not going to say a weird fact today. I just wanted to say an important fact. So it's important to make friends that are deeper than gossiping, drinking, and hanging out. Make friends you can have deep conversations with, cry with, and that are true supporters. Safe friendships can lower blood pressure and decrease the risk of heart disease. And I cannot tell you how important it is to keep the good friends in your life. This show, a lot of people that listen to my show they're friends of mine. They're people that we don't just send memes to each other or reels to each other. We've had those conversations. And I will say this. I am guilty of not checking in with people, not seeing people as often because life gets in the way. You know, I have a son and I'm trying to go back to school and, my time is limited. I apologize for that. I should be doing more on my end. I didn't do last week's episode because I lost a friend of mine, and it was devastating. It was sudden, and half the times you think, when you have friends, that you'll see them later, you'll see them next time, and you make plans for next time, and that next time never happens, and it's just very, very sad. I miss her. It's really tough. It's really, really tough because she was a good person. She was a good one, and it's not even cliche to say this. She was just such a bright light in a dark room. And I'm not going to go into too much in this because, but I just wanted to tell you guys that it's important to keep your friends. I know it's very, very important to check in on your friends, to hang out with your friends, but not just doing it by social media, by sending reels and memes, actually seeing them in person, actually being there, because that's so important. The social media shit, it's not real. None of it's real. That's not how you make real connections with people. And you need real connections with people because people are going to be there for you. Social media is not going to always be there for you. And it sucks because, when life gets in the way, you tend to, put yourself in a mental prison because you're I have so much going on and I don't make time for friends. And I should be doing that. And I can admit that I need to be better on friendships and friends because I need to be more there physically. That's something that really, set home with me, especially seeing her at a funeral. It's just, I'm damn, that is not the way I wanted to hang out. It really wasn't. It is not a way to hang out. And just seeing your friend like that, it never gets easier. I'm just, and I want to break down in tears because it's horrible. So it's hard. Because you see them and you're think they're just gonna, it's a prank that they'll get up and, we'll walk out and we'll have something to eat afterwards. And you're thinking, they're just sleeping. They'll get up soon. And it's just it's horrible. It's devastating. So but I wanted to continue doing this show because she loved music so much. It could be any kind of music. She loved music. She was mostly into musicals, but she wasn't but she would go to punk shows too. She would love musicals, go to punk shows, and she was just so joyous, so full of life, so funny. Her smile could brighten up any dark rooms. That's how I met her. I was in a dark punk, dirty, disgusting venue, and then I see this girl with a bright, big smile. I'm she seems cool, and then she ended up being one of the coolest people. She was the one that came up to me, and we became friends. Came up to my band, and we all loved her. We had a blast with her. She was funny. She was friendly. She was just so open, and she didn't judge anybody. Those are the kind of people that you need to keep close. Those that don't judge. Those that are actually that are just genuine, just a genuinely good person. And I'm going to really miss her. Really am. And with the listeners of the show, even though, and some of you are my true friends, some of you are not, some of you I've played and but some of you I've seen outside the show, and I need to make a better attempt to see you guys more. And it's just, it doesn't get easier. It's tough. And I tell you guys these things because you guys are my friends. I hope you guys know that I don't just do this show for me. I do this for people that love music. And she loved music. She really did. And, like, she went to punk shows. She'd be vibing. She would be like vibing, and she was just like so cool and friendly. And punk wasn't like her big thing, but she was still there. And that's something that she opened my mind to a bunch of things, and I'm going to miss her. And I dedicate this episode to her and to my friends that are kind of dealing with her loss. And it's just a massive loss of a person. It really is. And so I'm going to continue this show. She loved music, so I'm going to keep it going. So the first band, I've had them on my show before. They're called Original Anger. This song is called Speed is My Biggest Sin. And Kevin, I hung out with Kevin. Like, we've had dinner, and it was amazing. And they're from Arizona. The dude travels, and I was so happy to spend that time with him. And I was happy that he even took some time from his trip to go and have some lunch with me. It's really cool. Like, I love that this show brought us together, and I really do enjoy their music, and like, I enjoy the people in that band. Like, they're really cool, genuine people. And like, I can't wait to hang out with him again, which I'm assuming he's coming back around again in Connecticut. And he's a good dude, and I love his band, and I'm proud to say that they're my friends, and good music, good times. And so this is Speed is My Biggest Sin by Original Anger.
It's my biggest sin. A funny car like Jungle Jim. Driving fast is just my style. Flying down that quarter mile. Speed is my biggest sin. A funny car like Jungle Jim. Driving fast is just my style. Flying down that quarter mile. Yeah! Time for talking trash, burning tires, smell the fight, 'cause that's what we do on a hot Saturday night. 'Cause speed is my biggest sin. A funny car like Jungle Jim. Driving fast is just my style. Flying down that quarter mile. Speed is my biggest sin. A funny car like Jungle Jim. Driving fast is just my style. Flying down that quarter mile. Yeah!
So that was Speed is My Biggest Sin by Original Anger. And this next band, I've known one of the members for many, many years. He's a great friend of mine. I love every band that he's in. I love his music. He's a talented guy. And I'm super happy because he sent me this song. I mean, now it's out for release for everybody, and it's just a very important song. The band is called Mitch Kramer. The song is called Fuck White Supremacy, which I can't even believe that we're still having to fucking discuss this even now. We would think that we would be so much more advanced, that we would have, that this wouldn't even be an issue anymore because it's so old and dated and ridiculous that we're still having to discuss topics like these, like any kind of hatred. It's just so stupid. It's like, why do you hate somebody for just living? Like, what is wrong with you? There's something wrong with you. Just for the color of their skin, just for being who they are. Like, what is wrong with you? There's something wrong with you. You know, you must be miserable with your life if that's the kind of person that you are. And I love that my friend Jeffrey, he is just like someone that I respect a lot. I give him a lot of credit because, like, a lot of times, like, he was there for, like, the really shitty parts of my life. And, you know, I'm someone that if you were there at a time in my life that was dark, that's somebody that I want to have next to me for the rest of my life. You know, I'm not letting you go nowhere. I'm super happy when I got this song because it gave me, like, the 80s punk, Gorilla Biscuits vibe, which they're one of my favorite bands. And the chorus, so the lyrics for the chorus go, "It took 100 years of tearing down these walls for someone like you to build them back up." It is so fucking true, especially with the current administration. Like, I can go on with how fucking fascist and racist and I don't care. Like, I don't care. Like, I am not one side more than the other, or any side, because I feel like they're all the same. But I just cannot fucking stand how people right now, especially punks, are not speaking up about the fucking fascists that are out there and being against Nazis and standing up to fucking racist assholes. I'm seeing that less and less. And that's not something that, you know, we as punks, that's not something we should be letting that slide. Like, we should be, like, really fucking against that shit. You see a Nazi at a show, you fucking jump them and beat them up. That's how we are. That, like, we're not allowing that shit to come our scene. And I don't like well, just because people have different opinions. No. That person doesn't have a different opinion. That person is a piece of shit, hateful fuck. I'm not allowing that in our scene, and we should never allow those people in our scene. That is a no-go. Just like people are like, oh, you should just, you know, people can have different opinions. No, that is not a different opinion. That is somebody that's hating somebody for being who they are. That is not a difference in opinion. We cannot allow those kinds of people infiltrate any of our shows, anywhere we go. They need to be put in the fucking ground and curb stomped. I'm sorry if that sounds vicious, but, like, we can't allow that shit. None of us should allow that shit. We should be fucking speaking up more. And I'm seeing that more and more, that people are getting quieter. And I noticed that. But I love that this band was like, fuck that. I'm going to say something, because that is the true punk spirit, is saying the shit that's uncomfortable to say. But unfortunately, people get pissed off when you say things out loud. This is something that should be across the board for all punks. I don't care who you are, but if you call yourself a punk, this is something that you should always stand up for, is against white supremacists. We are not supporters of that. That is something we should never allow in our scene. So that's why I love this song, because it fucking punches you in the face with reality. And I love that. So this is Mitch Kramer with Fuck White Supremacy. So that was Mitch Kramer with Fuck White Supremacy. This next band is called Left Hand Black. I've had them on the show before. And the song is called 28 Days Later. It's from the movie. Basically, it's basically about that movie, which was an amazing movie. I remember seeing that super long time ago, many, many years ago, back in the early 2000s. And I remember being blown away by that movie because it was just like unlike anything I've ever seen before. And it was just like such a different aspect. It's unlike any movie that you see because like the scene where the zombie's blood gets on that person's eye, like that blew my mind, and like it freaked me out so bad because you never think of that in a horror movie. You're like, oh my god, that can happen too, like you take things like that. That's an amazing horror movie right there. The fact that they basically put the movie basically in their song is pretty awesome. And then they included a key change in the song, and it was so seamless. It was super seamless. Like it just happened. And like the amount of times I've tried to do that in a song and it never worked out for me, it's crazy. But like they just do it in the song and it's so seamless. And that's something that not many people can do that. So this band's from Sweden. They're a horror punk band. They're called Left Hand Black, and the song is called 28 Days Later. So that was Left Hand Black with 28 Days Later. And this next band, I received their song from Spaghetti Town Records, which I always will play anything from them. I played them on the show before. They're called the Melmacs. And the song is called Keep On. They're from Germany. They're a power punk band with rock and roll. And I think it was a synth or an organ. Either way, I just love that sound and the energy of the song and the positive message of just keeping going. And only you can do that. Only we as individuals can keep ourselves going. I almost wanted to take another week to not do this episode, and I'm glad I did. This song is kind of like, it's kind of giving me the energy and the motivation to just keep on. It's so hard to do that sometimes, but sometimes you have to. And this band is awesome, and I love the vocals are so good. Oh my God. Towards the end of the song where they have the chanting part of it, it's cool. So this is the Melmacs with Keep On. So that was the Melmacs with Keep On. And we're at the last song of the episode. I'm not going to apologize for having my my sadness in the beginning of the episode because, I'm going to be sad for a while. I mean, grief is not linear. It's all over the place. It's a roller coaster. So when you go through this stuff, it's a process. So I'm not ashamed to show my emotions and before I'd be like, yeah, I got to be the tough person all the time. And I have to, be hide my emotions in order to be cool. And that's just not cool. It's okay to have emotions. It's okay to not be okay either. Sometimes you're not going to be okay. Not everybody's going to have a perfect day. Not everybody's going to have every day where they wake up to be and they're happy and they're in a great mood and everything's going great for them. Sometimes it just doesn't happen. That's life. But the thing is to just keep going and keep showing up for the people that you love, doing things for you, and also try to be better humans to other people that are close in your life, friends and family. They matter the most. Your friends and your family matter the most. I mean, all this social media bullshit is just that. It's just noise and bullshit. It's not reality. So what you have in your real life is what is real. That is real. The people that are there for you in your dark moments, and the people that reach out, the people that check in, those matter. They matter. And the people that will talk to you about random shit. Sometimes random shit is funny, or just even send something to you because they thought about you. It made them think of you. Stuff like that. That really matters. And I'm not ashamed of how I feel or what I say, especially or how I show my emotions. And I used to be, but I am at a point right now where I fully accept that because that's part of being human. It's to just being able to show your emotions. And to just, sometimes it's okay. That is life. That is part of being human. And I just want to spread that message to you guys. Even if you want to send me a random message, it doesn't have to be music related. Just whatever. I'll respond to it because that's important to me. So thank you guys for checking in, and thank you guys for sending me your music and always being cool supporters, and it really does mean something to me when you guys check in on me, and also when you guys send me messages. That means something to me. I feel like I'm making a small impact. I feel like this show has brought so many people together, and I want to keep doing that. I really do. So the last song of the episode is by Glitter Litter, and I've had them on the show before. They're a solo project from Sweden, and they're a glam punk metal band. The song is called Final Summer Night. I'm so fucking done with winter, so I'm going to be listening to this song all summer until the final summer night. So check it out, and thank you guys for supporting. Also follow Glitter Litter, and they do a lot of stuff. They do so much, and it's they're always on Instagram and always checking in. Super nice, super kind. They're great. Check out this song. This is Final Summer Night by Glitter Litter, and brought out.
And so it begins.
Bunch of boys on the same death, but now it will split.
so it begins.